Hello everybody and welcome back to Ion Formula 1. We're in Qatar for the 9th round of the 4th season of the World Championship. We're currently following the Aston Martin of Project User as they make their way around the top of the track. Joining you in the commentary box today is me, Dolphin, and Brandstar's team owner, Shay.
Hello everybody, it's me, Shay. We're here in Qatar. This is going to be the second to final race of the season. We're expecting a lot of things to be changed and a lot of things to be competed against. We have a great, constructor standings and driver standings that still have yet to be...
Close.
It is still yet to be seen who wins that, as we are still very close. So we could be seeing a lot of changes in the standings in both constructors and drivers just for this race alone.
If Qatar wins with the fastest lap today, I think he might win the championship because he has a 5-point gap to Dakar. Anything less than that, I'm not sure whether he'll actually be able to win it. Maybe just winning, that'll be enough, I'm not sure.
I'm sure winning will be enough, but he also has to at least get into second place if Dakar wins this race, or if anybody else wins this race. Because Qatar cannot be getting anything under P5, or else it's going to be critical for him. If Dakar gets in first today, then he might actually be your driver's standings champion.
Speaking of Critical Noob, as well as Matt, they've jumped ship over to Esprit this race because they are currently last, I believe, in the standings, and B-Guides doesn't want to lose their team for next season, as if you don't know, the bottom two teams, 11th and 12th, which is Uprise and Esprit at the moment, I believe, they're going to be chopped off. So it will only be a 10-team season next season in Season 5.
B-Guys is not the only one feeling the pressure. B-Guys was able to get Critical and Matt on their team, but also we need to look over at Uprise, because with Mummy's doing exceptionally well, and we can also notice that Miggy is not qualifying today. He is not on the board. Instead, he's going to be taken over by Johnson 420.
We just look at the standings here. Qatar currently leading with 94.5 points. Dakar second with 89.5. It's exactly 5 points between them. So if Qatar can win with Dakar second, then that's enough margin, I think.
It is enough margin, but yes, you would. I believe that is correct. However,
there would be a 13-point gap actually, so it wouldn't be enough.
That is true. Okay.
Qatar needs to win, with Dakar scoring absolutely nothing, so we've just got to hope for a Dakar DNF.
Yeah, let me check those standings with you real quick. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, if Dakar wins, and Qatar gets the 18 points from P2, so 25, 18, that's a 7-point gap, and that's not going to cut it, by the looks of it.
I think if Dakar scores 4 points, if Qatar wins and Dakar scores 4 points or lower today, that will be enough for Qatar to win the championship. But as we know, Dakar, the only races he's finished are the races he's won.
Yeah, Dakar is basically a one or done. He either finishes the race in first or he gets, last. So depending on what Dakar does today, I think is what's going to change the Drivers' Championship. Oh, hang on a second, I just got a notification. It turns out Miggy is actually driving. He's actually with BMW.
Oh. Okay then.
So that's going to be interesting. Who did he take over for? Because I'm seeing Real Miggy, Coolit, and Indominus
I think
BMW.
Miggy overtook Real Ricasli's seat.
That looks like the case. I wonder if he's going to see any better improvement in the BMW seat instead of the Uprise. And speaking of Uprise, I was talking about the drivers. Let's talk about the car itself. If you can get us a picture of that car from any of the drivers. They are kind of sporting a new livery for this race, and I think they might be sporting it for the next race as well. I'm not exactly sure. Their new sponsor is that popular YouTube series, Yo Mama. Gonna be interesting to see.
Gone from a blue car to a pink car.
They're doing the Boot GP. I think we're seeing a new Aerox.
Possibly. Let's just hope that
and looks like
team removed.
Looks like Dakar is now on the field. He has not done any times yet, but he's going to be out on the field. He's going to be using his alt though, so he's not Dakar 2 right now. He is going to be Dakar.
Just Dakar.
Just Dakar. I mean, he's not going to be the only one on the field on the alt. You're going to have Aviation Chat also on the alt because his account was banned for 7 days right before the start of this GP. I look down, Acer 1 is going to be running with Red Star. He's also got a Tifili, another, I'm guessing, reserve driver for Red Star. Space Ghost not on the track. And then finally we're going to have Craig only be there at the moment, and that will be, interestingly enough, Low Fun Greg.
Team owner.
Team owner, so we're not going to be seeing any F1 fan today, probably.
Unless they turn up at some point within the next 5 minutes and 8 seconds of this qualifying session.
That doesn't seem to be the case. Alright, Dakar is going to be going for his hot lap now, by the looks of it. It does not show him on the board as of yet, but that yellow sector on 3 is going to mean that his sectors will now count. So this should be the time for him to be making his best lap. He'll probably have about 3 based on this time period, maybe 2, but we'll have to see. Other than that, right now it seems as though Critical Noob's going to be taking the pole position at the moment, with Fernand taking second place and Lancedroid taking third. Lancedroid doing some great work in this qualifying. Seeing how he used to be
I haven't
in...
seen Lancedroid this high up since forever.
Exactly. I mean, we didn't see him doing this well even in McLaren. But it seems as though he's finally been able to find his footing. Hopefully he'll be able to keep his footing for this whole race. So it's interestingly enough, Patrick Kuro will not be racing today. I wonder what happened with Patrick Kuro.
I'm not sure. All I know is that Epic Brother 55 is making their F1 debut with KR Racing.
Which means he probably will not be available for GT3. I wonder who's going to be taking his place.
They've probably got someone.
So if you guys don't remember, we had 2 free practices on Qatar yesterday, and we did not see any details on the map whatsoever, but it's amazing to see how many details they've been actually able to implement for this next session for today. So they've only been able to do all these details since a day, and seeing as it took only a day for all this detail to come in, that's pretty good. And there it is, Dakar is going to be pole position with a 128.4, 3.3 seconds in front of Critical, and still got 3 minutes left. He can still make a better time.
And Critical doesn't improve on that gap, but they do set a purple sector 3.
Going to be able to see if Dakar can get any purple sectors on that first and third sector. He only got her on the second on that fast lap. Let's look real quick. Static. I mean, we saw Static get a podium, I think it was, last race. What is...
Yeah, Static finished
doing?
second.
Dakar just doing a full 360 around that first corner. I wonder what that was about. I mean, it's not going to get him a faster lap, but even then, he is on an out lap, so it's not going to count that much. Although, let's talk about Static real quick, because we saw him on the podium position last race. He's now in 14th in qualifying. Doesn't look like he's going to be doing a faster time as of yet, as he has not started a first sector trigger. So, it's going to be interesting to see how he pulls out. Although his teammate Professor is now in 5th at the moment, the person who was in Aston Martin but moved over to ProDrive. He's in 5th at the moment. We'll be able to see if he can get anything better in this next 2 minutes. But as of now, a 129.0 is nothing to gripe at.
Ikara is currently 10th. They're usually below 10th in qualifying. They gain their positions back during the race. But that's a good starting off place for Kaikara to be able to try and climb up the order and claim their championship. Just depends how fast Dakar will be today. And they've just been booted down to 11th because Matt is now 10th with a 129.634.
Here we go. Dakar going to be starting his hot lap, as well as Lofun-Greg. Lofun-Greg not doing very well at the moment. He's got a 134.0. He's in the last position in this qualifying at the moment. He's going to have to do something in order to get that time up in the next minute. Looks like he will be able to at least finish one lap, but will that be enough for him? Might be able to get the slipstream off the DRS because he is right behind Dakar.
Mr. Mucho Globe has 2 green sectors. They're in a McLaren. We're going to see how far up they can get their car as they round the final corner now here in Qatar. There's the starting grid. DRS zone number 2 crossing the line now. And they go 10th fastest with a 129.437.
Ooh, already a green sector for Dakar. He is improving. And a
that
purple
becomes a
sector. That's
purple.
a second sector for purple. He did even better on that sector. That is a sector to beat at the moment. Let's see how Lofun-Greg's doing. He's doing 2 green sectors. Still the third one to go. We'll see how he does. Dakar, we probably won't see him doing any better. He's already in first. But his time might get better. We'll have to see. Lofun-Greg's kind of behind him, though. We'll see if he's able to at least get in the top 10. As they cross the line, Dakar is going to get a 128.0. That is an improvement. And here comes Lofun-Greg.
They go 21st.
Oh, that's 21st. That's not a good place to start, but hopefully he'll be able to do a little better during the race itself. Let's see how many other people are finishing their laps. Indominus Rex, he's on a 2 sector.
Ben and Justin went really
Injector.
wide at the last corner there.
There we are.
Ninth.
Look like, yeah, he's going to be able to get a point off. He's going to be in P9. He was P10, but he'll be able to get P9. Rio Miggy's not out there anymore. Indominus Rex crossing the line. That is 12th position now. He got a position up off of Kaikara. 129.7.
That pushes the championship leader now down into 13th place. Now 14th place as Static improves to P11.
Oh, here comes Ferdinand. He's going across the final corner. He's in P3. He's got 2 green sectors. Will he be able to pass Critical? He will not be able to. 128.7. He is 0.1 off. But Critical's also being Critical's also about to finish
third.
Oh, Mummy! Wow, that's pretty good for
and
Uprise.
Critical Noob gets a massive snap of oversteer at that last corner.
Yeah, that might not be good for him, but you know,
No.
second place. Wait,
They do
he
improve
actually
their
did
time.
improve by a fraction, but it will not be enough. And that, I believe, is everybody finishing with their laps. So this will be the final qualifying order. First will be Dakar, surprisingly. Second will be Critical Noob. Third will be Mummy. Fourth will be Ferdinand. Fifth will be Lance Droid. Sixth will be Professor Bloxer. Seventh will be 420 Merc Music, who has just left the game. Eighth will be Danza Hajek. Ninth will be Finn and Jester. And 10th will be Mr. Macho Globe in the final of the top 10 in qualifying. Going even further, 11th will be Static. 12th will be Matt. 13th will be Indominus Rex. 14th will be Kaikara. 15th will be Acer. 16th will be Real Miggy Coolit. 17th will be Toots. 18th will be Aviation Chat. 19th will be Epic Brother. 20th will be Project User. 21st will be Lofun-Greg. 22nd will be Johnson 420. And 23rd will be T. Feely. Epic's in 19th. I just realized that. That's interesting.
Yeah, not
First in,
really
he's kind of
replicating
not doing very well
their
at all.
GT3 pace.
I mean, this is also KRR. They have a track record of setting horrible qualifying paces and then doing very well in the race itself. Not sure if Epic is just following that strategy or if they're just, you know, hit a bump. I guess we'll have to find out once the race actually occurs. I'm gonna take a sip of milk real quick. What's everybody drinking today? Everybody drinking good? You gotta keep hydrated. Well, we're in Qatar. We're in a desert here. Alright, well, we should be racing shortly. Just gotta get everything set up again. We may see some updates to the track, although Fasta is not online, so that is probably not going to happen. We'll probably get straight into racing pretty shortly.
Yeah, I don't think if Fasta's not online, there's a very small chance that anything substantial would happen to the track. Maybe some people will do something with F3X, but I'm not sure.
I mean, we did see some complaints about there being a specific corner, the final corner, having a bit of a bump on it that some people were complaining would cause someone to crash out. However, I didn't see many people actually crashing out on it. I'm putting that on the screen right now.
I haven't seen anyone make an issue with it, unless we count the little spin at the end of qualifying. I don't think there's been any issues with it.
No, I don't think so. I mean, we got it on the camera right now if Deepak wants to move to it. That is pretty much the only issue we've seen on the track so far. Some people are saying that this bump crashed out people, but I haven't seen that myself. But, you know, we'll have to see what happens when we get to that. I don't think Faster will be making any changes, but if we see any, we'll see it shortly. That might be why we're not doing the start of the race yet, but I'm not sure. I'm seeing a bunch of commotion over in the pits, as you can see right there.
So that is qualifying finished, ladies and gentlemen. I think we may just be able to quickly see. No, that was recorded too late. I was going to try and see Mummy spin there, but we couldn't, so yeah. That's it from qualifying. The race is very short. You stay tuned, because Ion Formula 1 is about to return. Hello everybody and welcome to the Middle East for not going to be the only time this season, unlike last season. We're actually coming here twice. It's the Ion F1 Qatar Grand Prix. It's round 9 of season 4 of the championship. We're here this weekend and then in a couple of weeks time we'll be in Dubai. Qatar, it isn't the first time it's been on the calendar. It's returning today. It was host to the finale of the second season of the championship, and it's also not a cool country either. The lowest average temperature recorded here is about 25 degrees Celsius in October, with the highest being 35 degrees Celsius, which is something I certainly would not be complaining about. Let's have a look at the track then. It's 13 corners, 2 DRS zones, quite fast. There you can see the start-finish line, a bit of a twisty turn 1 and 2, 11 and 12, as well as some very swoopy corners such as 8, 9 and 10. Here you can see the elevation change. It's quite hilly. You climb up and down and up and down. The undulation here is absolutely hard to fathom. And the 2 DRS zones, one down that little back straight towards turn 13, and the second takes you down the main straight. Here you can see some of the lovely sponsorship branding from the country of Qatar and the Gramelli tyres that these cars will be running today. You can also see some of the tents there behind the paddock. And here's the starting grid. On pole position is Dakar with the reserve driver for E-Spirit, that is Critical Noob. Mummy lines up third, a shock performance from the Uprise with Fernan in fourth position. Fifth goes to Lance Droid in the Brand Star. Professor Bloxer, the race winner from USA for Pro Drive, is in sixth position. P7 and P8, they're shared. It's row 4 for the Audi boys of 420 Merc Music and Dancer Hajek. P9 and P10 is going to go to Fernan Jaster in the Lamborghini, and one of the McLarens with Static in 11th, and 12th the other E-Spirit of Matt. 13th goes to Indominus Rex in the BMW, 14th Kai Kara in the KR racing car, 15th to a Red Star, and 16th to the BMW of Real Mickey Kulit. 17th position going to Toots in the Lamborghini. Aviaton Chad lines up 18th for McLaren. P19 goes to Epic Brother on their debut in F1 for KR Racing. Project User is in 20th. 21st goes to the Craig owner, Golfun Greg, and 22nd is Johnson for 20. And nobody lining up for 23rd or 24th. Joining you for today's race is me, Podolphin, in the commentary box, and alongside me is Shea, who's just informed me there is a Red Star in P23. I'm not sure why they didn't pop up.
Yeah, I mean, that's interesting. It's going to be one of the reserve drivers for Red Star. There's going to be Le Famille, or something like that. I'm not exactly sure. But anyways, we're going to be starting this race shortly. This is the second to last race of this season. We're going to be seeing a lot of different changes because we are still pretty close when it comes to the Drivers' Championship and the Constructors' Championship. So this is going to be the race to watch before we get into Dubai. We are going to see a lot of fights being taken place, and this might be the one that settles it.
There's 5 points between the top two of Dakar 2 and Kai Kara. Technically just Dakar this weekend, as he is racing on an alt account.
Yet to be seen who's going to be winning this race. We see Critical Noob and Matt and E-Spirit trying to get some team points for that so that they cannot lose that team at the end of the season, because if you do not know, there is going to be 2 teams that are going to be taken out. The last 2 teams will be taken out of this season. For next season, we will only be running, I believe, 10 teams for the next season.
So it's pretty high pressure for the back markers of E-Spirit and Uprise. I believe they've just been told to jump out and jump back into their cars.
Which means we should be starting shortly. Lights have gone out, which means we should be getting a green flag just shortly.
As I said in the intro sequence, it is Dakar on pole, Critical Noob in second for E-Spirit. This may be the first E-Spirit podium since Capitan Bo in Dubai last time round. They won the race with Dakar in second, and we have just been told to watch the lights as they now do come on in Qatar.
Here we go.
And they're off and away very quickly. Look at that. People moving across to the racing line. It looks as if Dakar got a good start, trying to stay ahead of the E-Spirit of Critical Noob on the outside here. It's a very twisty and turny turn number 1 as we dive down through the 200-meter board, coming into the first corner. Kai Kara got a good start, but they're running wide through turn number 2. Coming up the hill now towards turn 3. I'm not sure which Audi that is, but there is an Audi that's got it up.
Epic Brother fell behind. They're now in last. They got a lot of room to catch up as they're actually falling behind very horribly. And
I think that was an E-Spirit and a Pro Drive just going wide there slightly. Dakar getting very much into the lead here, about 3 car lengths to the Audi of Dancer Hajek behind. I can see a Lamborghini and a Pro Drive. I think that is Professor Bloxer. Yes, it is. Lance Floyd in the Brand Star also doing well.
E-Spirit went straight into the sand. He's going to fall behind as well. Dakar's in the lead at the moment, but Audi is right behind their tail. I don't know if that's 420 or Dancer Hajek. And behind him is going to be a Brandstar itself. That's Landstroid. He's actually doing really well for the beginning of this race. And the E-Spirit right behind him. Could that be Critical Noob?
That is Critical Noob, currently on the board in 4th position, but they're probably gaining positions. 420 Merc Music has got up into 2nd in the Audi as they come through the twisty corners of turns 11 and 12. Now onto the first DRS zone of the lap. Everybody within a second of the car ahead will be able to open up their rear wing and get some extra speed on their rivals.
Everybody but Takara, as he is in the lead at the moment, but he probably won't be needing that as he is getting a burst of speed. However, the Audi is right on his tail. He's going to be able to try and make a pass, but he will not be able to make it. Takara's now pulling ahead.
And if I'm not mistaken, Landstroid's now up to 3rd, with Indominus Rex holding the fastest lap.
Where did Takara go? I just lost him. Oh, there he is. I think he might have had a little bit of a lag. I saw an Audi in the lead, and I got really confused.
They're 4 abreast coming through there with the Lamborghini of Fenenjaster, the Uprise of Mummy, the E-Spirit of Critical Noob. They're all battling it hard here. The top 10 now separated by just above 2 seconds, with Dancer Hajek in 10th position. Epic Brother is now up into 20th position, and Kaikara is in 13th. So that's how the KR Racing boys are looking. Fenenjaster has made their way up into 3rd position. I'm not sure if that's correct or not. Actually, it looks like it is.
Oh, he's up there. He is actually up there. He must have got a boost of speed or something because he's
Look
actually
at that.
keeping up.
He's fighting with 420 Merc Music.
He's just trying to make a pass at the moment. What in the world? Where did this speed come from?
I'm not too sure, but they are fighting with the top 2 here. Dakar leading the way, with Mummy now looking to get a boost onto the Audi of 420 Merc Music.
And Uprise as well. Mummy's actually doing really well for Uprise. He's keeping up with 420. He might even make a pass off this DRS. It is neck and neck at the moment.
It's incredibly tight. If you screw up this last corner here, turn number 13, then that's going to affect your pace all the way down this main straight. But it looks as if nobody has, at least in the top 10 that is, because the E-Spirit of Mummy and the Audi of 420 Merc Music are really battling it out for this 2nd position. It's 420 Merc Music who holds it, but only by just under 0.4 of a second.
Oh man, I'm getting some immense lag. A lot of people just frozen at the moment. It's really hard to tell who's in the lead if you're in a helicopter view. But as of now, it seems as though the people in the lead still has not changed that much. However, I am seeing an Aston Martin starting to pick it up a little bit. That must be Fernan.
That is Fernan indeed.
He's catching up. He's in 4th at the moment. But it also seems as though 420 passed kind of fell behind. He's now in P5.
Yeah, just the battle for 2nd place is really heating up here. Dakar's running away with it, sort of, a 2nd gap to Fenenjaster in 2nd, but between Fenenjaster and Critical Noob, it's only a 2nd gap.
Speaking of gaps, let's talk about the gap between Takara and the rest of the pack. That has gotten extensively bigger now. I'm saying that may at least be a 2nd or a 2.5 seconds.
That is 1.5 seconds exactly, Cheyenne.
Is that enough for people to not get DRS off of him?
Yes, it is, because you need to be within a 2nd.
Oh, well, that's it. Good luck, Uprise. You're going to have to get some speed somewhere else.
Mummy and Fenenjaster are currently tied for 2nd position on the board. They're both exactly 1.5 seconds behind Dakar, but that will change pretty quickly because Dakar takes the fastest lap. Mummy takes 2nd with a 1.4 seconds behind the leader. Fenenjaster falls by 2/10.
He's going to take the fastest lap.
1.6 seconds.
So yeah, Dakar just took the fastest lap off of Mummy real quickly. Let's look at the back of the pack real quick. Who else are we seeing? We're seeing the Audis kind of getting close together now. Low Fun Grade kind of falling behind as well. He's going to be up in the back of the pack, as well as
made
an
it to
Uprise
19th position though. Epic Brother has managed to gain a few positions. They're now up into 16th position, so they are climbing the order, unlike their teammate Kaikara, who still holds 13th place. But they are edging their way towards the point, as Kaikara actually just takes 12th from Mr. Mucho Globe in the McLaren.
Fenenjaster's in 2nd now. He's actually been able to pass.
Fenenjaster's got a massive gap. Look at that. It's 0.6 between Fenenjaster in the Lamborghini and Mummy in the Uprise.
What in the world did he do to get this big speed? We haven't seen him do this well in a long time.
Oh, and Fernan and Mummy are battling. I think the Aston Martin might have just got ahead there. And they have. They're now up into third for Fernand.
Both the Audis are neck and neck at the moment. They're keeping it in the teamwork. Hopefully they'll be able to make a pass on this uprise as they're actually catching up to it considerably well right before this final corner.
The exit of this corner is crucial. Let's see how it fares. Down towards the finish line of lap number 5. I meant 4, because Dakar's already started number 5. It's Venenjaster from Fernand, from Mummy, from Dance. The Audis still side by side. But now instead of being on row 4, they have moved up to row number 3, 5th and 6th respectively for Dancia Hayek and 420 Merc Music. Dakar still leading the way by 2.5 seconds to the car behind, which is Venenjaster in the Lamborghini. Professor Bloxer is 10th, wrapping the points. Indominus Rex 9th, with Lance Droid in 8th. It's a good odd scrap here for the final points position, as Kaikera has made their way up into 11th.
Well, Kaikera's making some ground. He's going to be able to have to try and get some better ground, though, if he's going to get in that top 10 and get some points for his team. We might be seeing a repeat of what happened in Japan. Hopefully that is not the case. KR definitely needs these points in order to keep in those top standings, because Audi is now doing better than they are.
Well, unlike Japan, we've made it to lap number 5 and the entire field is still racing.
Well, this is not as complicated a track as it was in Japan. We've got some fast straights, some sharp corners that people see coming at this rate. Only one specific chicane, and the walls are a lot further away from the track, and they're not, you know, the track boundaries.
Yeah, we've got some fantastic runoff areas as well if anybody decides to not stick on the track. Oh, there actually you could see with Matt on the curbs. The curbs are wider than the cars themselves, so there's plenty of space if you make a mistake.
Not to mention, this track is actually pretty wide itself. At least 3 to 4 car lengths. Maybe even greater on these straights. I'd say even 5 lengths at that rate.
Yeah, it's pretty wide and pretty long as well. The entire track didn't actually fit into the track map sequence that I make every weekend, the 3D animated intro sequence, so I had to zoom the camera out a little bit.
It is a pretty wide track because they got some crazy long straights. Surprised they don't have a DRS off of this straight that they're going off of right now.
Also, interestingly, the top 2 corners here, I think it's... Let me just have a look at the track map. It is turns number... where is it? There we go. Turns 9 and 10. They're off camber. So going around them is really tricky. You have to turn right more than you would because you're turning right, but your car is tilting to the left. So that's a really tricky corner to try and get around.
I gotta say, I think this deletion of the slipstream is doing wonders because we've had a pretty clean race so far.
Don't want to jinx that.
Yeah, that is true. Hopefully this race goes as it did in Japan.
Yeah. Oh, Fernand's made it up into 2nd place, just ahead of Venenjaster here. Dance up into 4th.
The green drivers are actually doing exceptionally well today.
As long as you don't look at Toots and Project User, 20th and 23rd.
Okay, 2 of the green drivers are doing well.
I think Project User might have come in for a pit stop because they're 20 seconds behind. I'm not sure what happened to Project User. They may have lost their front wing, but they're now 43 seconds behind the leader.
Whoa, hang on a second. There's somebody... Yeah, you're right. I'm looking at that now. No, he still has his front wing, and he did not go for a pit, actually. He just passed it right now. I'm not sure what happened there. But he is exceptionally behind. At least his car is still intact. He might still have some chance, however, the only person who is in front of him right now, Ifemi, is at least 2 corners past him at the moment, so he's got a lot of ground to cover.
Not sure what
and
happened
speaking
there,
of
then.
a lot of ground to cover, I'm thinking that's like a 4-second gap between Dakar and the other people.
Yeah, 3.97. As Matt and Professor Bloxer go side by side down into turn 11 and 12. Look at that battle. They're both fighting for 10th position here. or ninth actually, because Matt is now up into ninth position. Clycara's going to want him to get into the action here. So is Static, so is Mr. Mutroglobe. They're also close together.
That is true. They are close together, as a lot of the drivers in these top 2nd through 8th positions are also close together as well. They're able to get enough slipstream off of each other, but they could make a pass at any second if a mistake is made. Look down on the back of the grid. We are seeing the pro drives at the moment. They're going to be in the at least 9th through 11th positions. Let's see. Uprise is in 6th with Mummy. Critical Noob trying to get some points for E-Spirit. He's going to be in 5th at the moment. Deepod, are you still there?
I am. I was muted, I apologise. Matt's got a purple Sector 1. They're really gunning for the fastest lap at the moment, but they're on hard tyres. So I think if these drivers are really going to go for the fastest lap, then they need to be putting on some soft slicks. But we are only on lap 8 of 31, so that's going to happen near the end of the race, because I don't think anyone's actually started on the soft compound. We've only got medium and hard compound runners at the moment.
That is true, and not to mention, we haven't even gotten to the point where pit stops are yet to be seen. A 2-stop will probably happen at lap 10 or lap 11, and a 1-stop will probably happen around 15 to lap 16.
Makes
so
sense.
we only have like 2 laps before we might see a pit stop happen on a good strategy.
It just depends who wants to go for the 2-stop, or if the 1-stop is faster, or if you're going to try and undercut someone, try and go a bit faster on fresher tyres first.
Well, maybe, but it would depend on what kind of tires they put on. If they put on hards, then they will be able to set out there a lot longer than everybody else who is on mediums.
Fernand Jarst has retaken 2nd place for Lamborghini. However, Fernand is chasing them down pretty rapidly.
How's that lead between 1st and 2nd going? It seems as though it's gotten even higher than 6 seconds now.
Yeah, it's up to 2nd to 7.154 for Fernand Jarst to Dakar. The gap is absolutely ridiculous. It's hard to fathom. At this rate, Dakar is going to be finishing ahead of Fernand Jarst by nearly 30 seconds at the end of the race.
So far, this has seemed to be the cleanest race at the moment. No drivers out as of yet. Project User is kind of in the back, but he's still racing.
Will Meggy cool it on the hard tyres, and for BMW set a purple Sector 1, they may be able to get the fastest lap here if they keep this pace up. They're coming through Sector 2 at the moment, but if they set a yellow sector, then it probably won't look too good. They set a yellow sector.
Way to speak before it happens.
Both the pro drives are now into the top 10.
Yeah, they're actually very close together still. They've been close together for many of these laps. Which is kind of different than what we saw in Japan. Static was running away with it while Professor Bloxer was down in the back.
I think Professor Bloxer actually DNF'd as well.
He did, you're right, and you kind of spoke it into existence as well.
The commentator's curse. The classic commentator's curse. What should we do? What should we say? Dakar is going to crash at the last corner, and he will lose the championship. There we go. That's going to happen now.
Dakar will crash on lap 21, and then Dakar will get in the lead, and he will be able to win the Drivers' Championship.
Okay, there we go.
Or, you know what? Let's make it even crazier. Let's get it even crazier. Let's see. Low Fun Greg is going to... Hang on a second. Did Low Fun Greg just pit? I just looked on the stream. He's got a gray on him. Did Low Fun Greg just pit?
Let's bring up
I was about to say Low Fun Greg gets into P5, but then I noticed he was pitting.
Low Fun Greg and Indominus Rex have both pit.
That's why you always watch the stream, boys.
So that is Craig and the BMW both pitting for new tyres.
I was about to say Low Fun Greg's going to get P5 at this race. Just you wait. But then he did a
Low Fun Greg is actually
now
trying the undercut here.
Well, hopefully it'll actually be able to do good for him. He's got to get in that top 10 in order to get any points for Craig. I mean, more points than he's going to get at Dubai when Dakar starts running for him, but
Oh yeah.
You know,
Okay,
it has some points ahead of time.
The OG crate which he started with. If he actually retires this
And
time, as the Uprising Mummy comes into the pits.
Okay, so Uprise is now going to be pitting. He's going to probably be doing a two-stop. What is he going to be finishing on?
Well, they started on the mediums. If they go to the hards, then they may be able to go to the end of the race.
Maybe.
Potentially. We'll just have to
right
wait
now
and see what
they're
they
on
switch
medium.
to.
I'll let you know.
They go to another set of mediums. Oh, they're going to be down to. They're going to be ahead of Toots as well. Oh, teammate Johnson 420 is also coming to the pits here.
They're going to have to get some ground. Not many of these top drivers are pitting at the moment. Mummy is the only one who has as of yet. Seems as though a lot of them might be going for a one-stop or a 1.5 stop.
And Justin now 10 seconds behind Dakar.
We could still be seeing some two-stops, even before we get to lap 15, as people could just be pitting for fresher tires during the final stretches. However, that is yet to be seen. However, as of yet, seems as though P2 is still a battle between Fed and Jaster and Fernand, and behind him will be Critical Noob and 420 Merc Music, or is that Dan? That is Dan Sahajek.
There's a battle for second place that's been split up into two battles for second and fourth respectively. You've got Fen and Jaster and Fernand going side by side as Dan Sahajek comes into the pits, and their teammate 420 Merc Music keeps on going. And they've done a very dodgy job of getting into the pit box here. They are nearly perpendicular with the pit lane itself as Kaikera comes in for new tyres as well.
Like it worked though. Looks like it worked though. He's going to be on a new set of medium.
He's running again. Let's see what Kaikara switches to. They started on mediums.
Let me guess.
We've seen other people switching to mediums. Oh, they are! What a surprise!
Everybody seems to be going the medium strat today. I'm not sure what's up.
I think Epic Brothers doing that exact same strategy as well. As they have just come into the pits and they have put on some medium tyres.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Yeah. All right, here we see a. Okay, it looks like Toots is going to be doing his own pit as well. He was in 19th. He'll probably be falling behind a bit as the Red Star and Uprise go past him. What's he going for though?
He's going for hard. Oh, is Toots going to try and go to the end here? A Lamborghini going to try and get their other driver into the top 10?
That's going to be a tough order. He's still got more than half of this race to go.
Dakar still leads from Fernand this time, who's in second. Are they going to come into the pits this lap? No, they aren't. They keep going.
It looks like it's going to be a three-person fight for P2 now. Fernand, Finn and Jester, and Critical Noob. Merc is not close enough in order to get into that battle. But depending on how these pits go, that might change.
As Fernand
speaking
of
that, there's Fernand.
Fernand's going to pit. Merc, Fen and Jaster are going to keep going side by side down into turn 1. This is now a battle for second position between the E-Spirit and the Lamborghini. And there's a Pro Drive coming in at the back. That's Professor Bloxer.
Now let's see what his tires are going to be. He was on mediums. He's going to come out on mediums. There it is, a medium strategy again. I feel like Professor Bloxer is going to be doing similar. No, he's going hard.
Wow, Professor Bloxer might actually be trying to go to the end here.
Maybe, although that is still pretty hard to do. I mean, we still have more than half this race to go. And we have not seen any of these people actually doing the one-stop strategy yet. Who hasn't pit yet? Let's find out.
Yeah, let's press the button and see what happens.
Let us press the button. Wow, all the top 8 have not pit. Real Miggy hasn't pit. Acer hasn't pit. Aviation Chad hasn't pit. And Tifia of Red Star has not pit yet.
However, pitting does seem like the ideal option at the moment, as both Dancer Hayek and Kaikera are setting purple sector 1s with their fresh tyres.
That is true, however, that it's just because they have fresh tires, and once we get fresher tires on these people who have not gotten pits yet, they will then have the fresher tires, as those tires have now gone worn on the people who pit earlier. It's just a mind game. Honestly, that's all this race is. And here we go, Fenn Jester is going to be doing his pits. He will be the only one in the top 4 by the looks of it.
Right, money on mediums or money on hards? Toots has
I
gone to
mean, if
hards.
he's gonna do, I mean, yeah, well that is true, but I don't know if Finn and Jester's gonna start copying what everybody else is doing. Nope, he's doing hards. He's gonna stick with his teammate. Whoa, hang on a second, what happened to Static?
Something's
Static
happened to
just
Static.
crashed.
He's crashed in the
Static
pit
crashed in the
lane.
pit. What happened?
What happened to Static?
What in the world happened? Did he have a mistap? What in the world
not
caused him
sure.
to crash?
Static.
I don't even.
Static's out of the race.
Did he hit somebody? Was there a collision with a player?
I'm not sure.
Well, I don't know. We'll have to see what happens, what they're going to call on that, but there's no way we'll be able to have a race restart. We'll see
No,
what
that's
Fastest says.
That's a big shame for Pro
All right,
Drive.
let's watch Ifemi with the Red Star. Is he going to have problems? No, he was perfectly fine. I'm not exactly sure what happened with Static. I'm going to be honest. Looks like they've already reset the car, though.
Yep, Static's disconnected from the game. Dakar is now going to be lapping the Red Star in the pits. They haven't pit that yet, though. Dakar is still on the tyres that they started the race with. As Kaikara took the fastest lap.
I think we're going to have to check that point of view after this race is over. See what happened to Static, because I've never seen somebody crash in the pit lane like that yet.
Hopefully we'll get some footage of it, which will be able to go in the highlights reel, which will hopefully be coming soon.
First brand star to pit, that's going to be Lance Droid. He lives on mediums, we'll see what he pits to real quick. He's going hards.
So maybe this is a one-stop strategy after all. We'll just have to see what the best strategy is. We've got people going to mediums who may box again, and people going to hards who will probably not. Unless they absolutely have to.
He did probably just do a one-stop strategy, as it is now 15 laps of 31, and if those hards go for the rest of these 15 laps, then he'll be good to go. Here comes Aviation Jet. He was on hards. What is he going to go to? He's going mediums. He's going to do it. He's going to do the opposite. And that seems to be it for the pits at the moment.
As the top 5 of Mr. Mucho go, Matt 420 Merc Music, Critical Noob, and your race leader, Dakar 2.
Here we go.
They haven't pitted. Oh,
Dakar
and as I
now
say
pitting.
that, Dakar comes in.
Let's see what he goes for. He was on hards. What will he change to? He gives us an XD.
Got no indication.
Hards
It's
again.
another set of hards. That's not surprising at all. I thought he would have gone to mediums at least.
Oh my goodness, McLaren, what in the world? Mr. Macho went in full speed. He's lost his front wing off the pits.
What on earth happened there?
He almost ran that straight into the wall. He could have lost his wheels. He should be He should be thanking his lucky stars. He didn't.
Like Static.
But he's able to get that front wing fixed, and it's going to be hard now. Actually, I don't think Static crashed in nearly the same way as he could have. He was going full speed into that pit entry, almost got it on 2 wheels, and was about to hit the barrier that kept it away from the F2 garage.
That's... Whoa. You need to be careful.
That could have been horrible for McLaren.
Felonjaster has taken the fastest lap in their Lamborghini car, as Critical Noob, your new race leader, 420 Make Music, and Matt are still the only people yet to box.
Oh, he is the leader, but I don't think he will be for long. Dakar is right on his tail.
Dakar is very much on his gearbox here, 1.3 seconds behind the E-Spirit as we go down the hill now. Critical Noob is being chased down by the Frenchman.
Oh, I think that was the pass we were waiting for. Oh,
and
yeah.
Dakar
He was able to
now
get
retaking the lead.
But this is still DRS. Critical Noob might be able to take it back. Will he?
2/10 it says between Dakar and Critical.
Seems Dakar's going to keep that lead off of this DRS zone. And right behind him will be an E-Spirit?
Where's Merck?
That's Matt.
Oh, no,
That is Matt in
that's-
fourth.
Yep, Matt and Merck in third and fourth. Fourth and third.
So let's see. The Audis are doing well. The E-Spirits are doing well. Landstroid in the Brandstar in 10th position, so the Brandstars aren't doing completely well. However, Care will be able to get the majority of those points based on this standings. Finn and Jaster's able to get some good points for a Lamborghini if he keeps it up. He's even had the fastest lap now, which is surprising to say the least. Lamborghini seems to be picking up the pace. I'm going to look in the media submission, see if we can figure out what in the world happened to Static, if somebody has a point of view.
Don't think Fen and Jas is going to be able to hold their fastest lap for long because Dakar has set 2 purple sectors on their fresh set of hard tyres, and they're now approaching turn number 13, the last corner. So I think Dakar may be about to reclaim the point for fastest lap if they can hold it till the end of the race, unless somebody has enough margin to box for a fresh set of softs. And that is the fastest lap going to Dakar, even with a yellow third sector.
Seems as though I do not see a point of view of him. However, it could be seen to... Oh, hang on. Got something from Static. Yes, Static's telling me he might have someone who got a clip of it. We'll see shortly. I wonder how Fex Allen feels about that one. That was a completely incredible display of a crash. I don't think I've ever seen a crash like that. Hang on a second. Did Project crash out as well? I just noticed he's in 23rd. Spin out! Epic Brother spun out on the final corner.
Are they still? They're still running though.
The wrong way around. He is still running. He had to spin up, but he was able to recover it. Yeah, he is down next to a BMW now.
Yeah, something must have happened to Project User that we did not catch because they are behind Static, who actually DNF'd. So I'm not sure when that was, but Static and Project User are now both cars out of the race.
Well, based on the fact that he is in 23rd and Static is in 22nd, it must have happened before the crash with Static happened, and we didn't even notice it. Oh, hang on a second. Looks like Decare's going to be... Decare might be lapping the Red Star yet again.
Got this cool shot as they come down into turn 13. It's the Red Star versus Dakar, the name no one can really pronounce. Tefeli. Is that it?
Tefili, I don't know. It doesn't... I don't think it matters that much, but...
If people made names which could be pronounced, then we wouldn't struggle.
Yes. And Critical Noob's going to be right behind them, about a good 6 seconds behind. Oh, hang on a second, we got another
in the pits, as well as Matt.
Let's see what Merck does for his tires. He'll be getting out first. He's going mediums.
That doesn't surprise me.
Matt was on hards, and he is going to now go on mediums himself. So yeah, we've been seeing some interesting strategies. We've been seeing mediums, medium hards, hards mediums, hards, and even... Yeah, I think that's about it. We've just been seeing mediums and hards on the track. No softs as of yet. So everybody's decided the softs are not the play for this.
They may just wear too much, to be honest.
That could be the case, and Lofungreg's now going to be doing his pitch for the race. He was on softs. We were just talking about softs, and it seems as though Wolfungreg actually started this race on softs.
And they've made it to lap 19? How have they managed that?
Well, I mean, they are kind of down on the points as well. They just went to mediums.
Dakar may actually no longer have their fastest lap because Fenenjaster set a purple sector 1, but they've spun out on, that's down to turn 11, I believe. They spun out on the downhill straight, down to turn 11. They're still intact, they're still running, but they will have lost a lot of time to the cars around them.
He was trying to go for that hot lap, and then it actually went out of his favor. He's got a lot of ground to catch up now.
You can see, I think they would go on the runoff. They were trying to get back onto the track, and that just caused them to spin out across the entirety of that downhill section.
That would make sense. Getting on those bumps right on the decline, he probably lost a lot of downforce and thus caused his car to spin out. He should be glad that his car did not crash out. That could have been completely catastrophic for him.
Yeah, and Dakar has responded to
All
that
right.
purple sector 1 from Fenenjaster by a purple sector 1 themselves.
Seems as though we finally got a screen capture of the crash. Oh. This is kind of the same thing that it showed me here. I'm taking a look at it, seeing what we can see that was changed. No, I'm thinking this was the same thing with Qatar in Greece in Season 3. I just can't tell what caused that crash to happen.
Okay then.
Yeah, I can't tell. We're going to have to check that later, but for now, I can't see a thing different. There were no people near him. There was nothing in the pits that caused it. It just could have been a freak accident.
The battle for 9th place is heating up between 420 Merc Music in the Audi and Matt in the E-Spirit. At the moment, E-Spirit are claiming a lot of points. It's 18 points for Critical Noob, 1 point for Matt. That's going to boost them up a lot in the Constructors with their current 14 points. I think they might actually make it up into 10th ahead of McLaren, maybe even 9th ahead of Craig, if they can claim some more points on top of that, as Mummy comes into the pits again.
That'll be his second. He is doing the 2-stop. Not sure how well that's going to do for him, though, because he was in P5, and he's now going to get probably down into P10 by the time this is done. Maybe even worse, I'm seeing a professor pass him now, as he was in P11. He's going to fall behind considerably. This might not have been the strat, but we'll have to see. He's going to go on mediums, I believe, again.
Just a whole medium race, why not?
Well, I mean, no, we've seen people go on hards as well. Dakar's been on hards this whole entire race, for example.
Fenenjaster and Kaikara were battling, but Toots has crashed. I think Toots has crashed at some point down that straight. I thought that was Fenenjaster who crashed just then. I'm not sure which corner that is, but there is a Lamborghini on the side of the track at some point.
That was definitely Toots. He's fallen behind. Fenenjaster has not fallen behind as of yet. Which turn is that?
I'm not sure which turn it is. It's some point in Sector 2, I believe.
Okay. Well, I do not see a driver on... Yeah, I do not see a car on the track, but seeing as though Toots has not gotten any difference in his time, he's down in the 20th, which also means Acer must have crashed as well, because the Red Star has got 54 seconds on 21st position.
So that car must have just been reset by Lamborghini, so that is now just going to be Fenenjaster remaining in this race, who's having a good old battle with the championship leader of Kaikara, who boxes again. Kaikara's doing a 2-stop.
Oh, that's going to be interesting. Will he be able to hold out for the rest of this race?
I'm not sure.
I mean, of course he's going to be able to hold out, but, you know, we're going to see if he's
he
able
needs to
get
get good points here. He needs to fight against Dakar, who, as things stand, they're going to be getting 26 points over Kaikara's, what is that, 8?
Alright, well, he just finished. He got new mediums. Oh my goodness, Epic Brothers sliding in the pit lane. He's gonna...
He's facing backwards.
Sideways.
He's facing backwards.
He is sideways.
He's going to have to reverse out.
Well.
Look how much time they've lost because of that.
Well, that's not going to be good for KRR. Those 2-stops might have just been the one thing that put the nail in the coffin. Not just for the race, but for the Drivers' Championship as well, maybe.
Yeah, Kaikara's now down in 12th, just behind Mummy. They're fighting. They're now outside of the points. I'm wondering what percentage their tyres were on, because I'm not sure whether this stop was forced because of a lack of grip in the tyres, or whether they wanted this stop to try and get some fresher tyres to respond to the Uprisers pit stop.
Speaking of nails in the coffin, Lo Fungrick just got lapped by Takar. He's now going to be the next person to be lapped. Seems as though he's still battling with him, but that will be a complete lap. Behind him is going to be an Uprise. Oh, hang on a second. Is that another pit? Did Dan just pit?
Dan's pitted.
Looks like he went for a new set of tires. What did he choose? He chose mediums for the end of this race. He's got 9 laps to see what they can do. I would assume that would be the final pit stop we see today. However, I don't know. Some people might just get a little antsy. Might get those pit stops in later. See if they can do some stints on soft tires. Try and go for a fastest lap time, maybe?
That is a possibility. I think you're losing about 25 to 30 seconds at a pit stop here. The pit lane's long, but the pit speed limiter is only actually turned on around the garage area. So, yeah.
That is true. That one line at the end that tells you when it begins is the time when the pit limiter actually takes effect, which might be why Epic Brother had that big spin.
Probably was, to be honest. They just came in too quickly or at the wrong angle.
Yeah, wasn't able to control it once that pit limiter came on into effect. As it's looking so far, Critical Noob still keeping it in second at the moment. Right behind him will be the fight between Fernand and Finnegaster, but it seems as though Fernand was able to get the upper hand, 3 seconds ahead.
You can see Professor Bloxer fighting with the Uprise of Mummy, fighting with the KRR of Kai Kara. They're all battling out for the final point position.
Critical Noob's pitting again?
I don't know why they need to pit again, but if they want to, then they sure can. I'm not complaining.
Well, they were on hards. Let's see what they go for. They might be trying to go for a fastest lap stint if they go to softs. They did. They went for softs. This might be it. This might be them trying to go for a fastest lap.
I wouldn't put it past them. E-Spirit want the most points they can get today. I think this is going to be their only opportunity to try and get up into the top 10 of the constructors' standings, unless B-Guys keeps them around next race in Dubai.
Well, I mean, it's a fight for the fastest lap, but you got to remember that fastest lap will not count if you're not in the top 10 at the end of this race. So if Critical Noob can keep in the top 10 and get the fastest lap, he'll be able to take care of it. But right now, he's next to Kai Kara, who is in 11th at the moment.
Make that 10th with a purple Sector 1.
Alright, so it's Fernand, Finnegaster, and behind him will be Lanstroid. Lanstroid is able to catch up. And behind him will be a Red Star, but I think that was a lapped car, because right behind him will be 420 Mark Music.
So I think something may have happened to Indominus Rex, as they are now, their timings, their sectors aren't updating.
Can't seem so there are the... Is that Fernand doing another pit? It seems to be.
It is.
Yeah, that is another pit for Fernand. And not only him, but... Oh, it seems as though Tifley is going to be doing a pit as well, as he has lost his front wing. And Fernand's going to be going on softs by the looks of it. He's going to try and go for a fastest lap time as well.
As we approach the end of the season, every point matters now. Yes. I mean, every point always mattered. They're not worth any more now. But as there's now less opportunities to get those points than there was in Australia. So people are really fighting for these extra points here and there.
I remember what I said when it came to Kai Kara having to get second in order for us to see anything happen here. As long as Kara finishes this race, he's going to do well. But Kai Kara is falling behind considerably. 10th position is only going to get him 1 point, when he really needs at least 22 in order to keep in the lead.
Fernand's now going to be behind Kai Kara, so that's going to boost them up into 9th position. If anyone else ahead of Kai Kara boxes and they're within 20-ish seconds, they'll fall down.
No way. Wait a minute. Dakar's pitting? Is he going to go for fastest lap too? I mean, he's got the time advantage. He's
still going to stay ahead of Lance Droid.
Yeah, he's going to stay ahead of Lance Droid. Wait. Lance Droid? What? Is this going to be a Brand Star P1, P2?
As Shea intensifies. Yeah, Lance Droid's made it up into 2nd place. Dakar had 40 seconds ahead. You can see right at the back of your picture there, as Lance Droid just comes around the last corner, Dakar is going around the first and they've served a pit stop. What is this madness?
Dick cares to see these people go for softs, and it's like, you know what? I'm going to do the same. He wants that fastest lap. He wants all the points, and he's going to get them.
Well, he doesn't have the fastest lap anymore. That's Critical Noob's fastest lap now. They've just gone fastest.
I mean, yeah. He's the first one to get those soft tires in for a fastest lap. Fernand might be able to take that away from him, and then Dakar will be as well, as he is still on his outlap on those soft tires. Lance Droid, however, is keeping up. He's got Finnegaster right on his butt, though.
And at the moment, there's a 4-way battle for position 8 out on track. Mr. Mucha Globe in the McLaren versus Kai Kara in the KR racing car, then Fernand in the Aston Martin, then Mummy in the Uprise. This is absolutely insane. Kaikera's now 8th, but that's about to switch around again, I bet.
That could be the case. Jaster's doing incredibly well. He's been doing well this whole race, which is interesting because I've never seen a Lamborghini actually doing this well during a race. Besides, Aviation Chad in France was able to almost get in the top 10, but then kind of crashed right before the end of the race. So seeing Jester getting a podium for Lamborghini is something I didn't think I would ever see.
This is a pretty flat out track. There's only 2-ish heavy braking zones, I believe, so maybe the upgrades Lamborghini have done to this car is just suiting Jaster's driving style. We've seen them good with the IEC cars in that series, so maybe these conditions are just, maybe they just like them. Maybe they've been on IFR practicing. You never know.
We have 4 to 5 laps left in this race. We see Landstroid right now in the lead, something I haven't seen in a while, getting P2 for Landstroid. Will he be able to keep that up? Because Jester, all these other people behind him, still on those worn tires. However, we also have Critical Noob who's going to be able to catch up with those softs. This is a battle for wits.
420 Mac Music has just managed to get ahead of Jester. The entirety of the top 10 is pretty much split into 3 battles now. We have Lanceroid versus 420 Merc Music versus Jester for P2. We have Critical Noob versus Matt versus Dancer Hayek for P5. And then we have Fernand versus Mummy versus Kaikera and also versus Mr. Mucho Globe for P8.
This is an incredible battle at Qatar. Wait, what happened to Jester? Why don't I see him anymore?
Not sure.
Where'd Jester go? Oh, he fell behind. He was in P3, he's now in P4, and going to pass him will be 420 Merc Music. Will 420 Merc Music be able to take the lead? We'll be able to get P2 before this race ends.
2 seconds separate them.
Also that, but Dakar's now been able to get the fastest lap off those soft tires. And probably at this rate will be able to keep it.
If the fastest lap is taken away from Dakar again for someone who goes to fresh tyres, I think he has enough time, Delta, to Lance Droid, or he'll be able to gain it over the next couple of laps to be able to box and get a new set of tyres if he really needed to.
That is true. And Lance Droid has a fight right now, keeping that P2. Well, let's look real quick. Where's Low Fun Greg at the moment? He's able to get up into P16. Kaikera's still in P10. We'll be able to see if he's able to catch up any points. Oh, and here comes Dakar, I think.
No,
yep, he's going to be going.
He is just 1.5 seconds from P8 of Fernand, so if Kaikera can get some more pace, then maybe they'll be able to catch up.
Mummy's kind of not doing as well as he was at the beginning of this race. He's stuck in P9 at the moment. He's got a lot of ground to catch up to his... Actually, I take that back. He has hardly any ground to catch up. He's only a second behind Fernand.
I think he might actually be ahead of the Aston Martin. No, he's not. That was just vision lag. But they are all still close together. This battle is thriving. And Critical Noob is going to get involved in the battle for P2, I think, here. They're now just 6 seconds behind Lance Droid.
No more pits yet. It doesn't look like we're going to get any more pits, as we only have 3 laps left in this race. This is it. This is the final stretch.
It's the run home for everybody still on track, which is P18 and above.
This is going to be the one that calls it. This is going to be the one that settles it all. Where is Dakar? Where is he? He's about to start lap 30 in a second. Actually, he's got a bit of time left to go. He's still on this first sector, or second sector. Epic's actually catching up as well. He's now in P13.
The only improvement I can see on track is Johnson 420 in the Uprise in 17th place. They have a green, or Fernand's just set a green sector 1 as well. Everyone else, all of their sectors are yellow, so nobody really going that quick anymore. well, compared to how quick they were going when they put their new tyres on.
That is true. Oh, it looks like Merc Music's able to catch up to Landstroid a bit. It might be a fight now. Going through that first DRS zone.
I think there's
all
only
Merc has to do is pass him.
I think there's only about, I don't know, 6-7 cars lengths between them now.
It's going to be close. It is going to be close to see what happens. Where's Critical Noob? He's actually in 5th at the moment. He might be able to make the pass as well. He's kind of close with him. I'm thinking, yeah, that is about 4 seconds of difference between them. Will he be able to make that in just 2 laps difference?
Oh, look at that. Matt ran really wide there through turn 13. He's conceded the P6 position to Dancer Hajek now in the Audi. This is going to be fantastic for their championship dreams of winning the Constructors with 420 Merc Music in 3rd, Dancer Hajek in 6th. That's a massive haul of points for the team.
Where's Decare? Decare is going to be starting that final lap soon, and then we're going to get into the ultimate final stretch. Decare's still in 10th. I wonder how he's doing. He hasn't been able to catch up at all to Mummy. He's still 2 seconds behind. Oh, here we go. Decare going on the first DRS. This is going to be it. We're about to see the final competitions starting to take place. Miggy crashed? I think I just got it from static. Miggy has crashed.
Yeah, Johnson 420 is now the last person with sectors being updated. Excluding the red star, but they've been lapped a billion times there, they don't really count. Yeah, real Miggy Curler is out of the race, so the special livery for BMW that's going to be ran here in Qatar and in Dubai, well, it hasn't lasted Qatar, hopefully it'll be able to last Dubai to send off their team owner, Trom.
Oh, it seems as though he didn't have any fuel left, based on what Static is telling me. Anyways, besides that, it is the final lap. We are now on the final lap, so this is going to be it. Wait, Mercury's actually able to do the pass. Murky's now in 2nd.
Look at this. There's a massive train of cars down the main straight here. All the way from 2nd down to 8th position. You can see there.
This is going to be it. This is going to be the thing that settles it all.
As things stand, Kaikara is alongside Mummy. He needs to get up into 9th here. It's the only plausible position he could get up into. He needs the most amount of points possible against Dakar. As things stand, Dakar will be getting 26 points. Kaikara will be getting 1. I think he may have actually been able to get ahead of the Uprise there with their new livery. So Kaikara will now be getting 2 points as he crosses the timing line for sector number 2.
Dakar is about to go through the final
Kaikara's
corner
up to
right
8th.
now.
Critical Noob's fallen down.
Critical Noob's falling behind. That's not good.
And
Dakar
here's
is going to
Dakar.
be going side by side on the end of it. Oh,
Professor Blocks waits. Professor Blocks
He's going to go backwards. He's going to go backwards across it.
And
he's the
Dakar
winner.
wins.
Dakar is going to win, but let's see who gets in 2nd. That is still yet to be seen, as there is still a battle. Where are
Critical's run out of fuel. Critical Noob run out of fuel. That's why they're falling. These are not going to be the points that E-Spirit needed. They're going to fall out of the top 10. That's going to give Kaikara P8. That's a lot of points.
Some great points. He's going to get some great points. Murky's about to pass it. He's going to get 2nd. He will get 2nd. Lance Troy will get 3rd. That's a Brandstar P1, P3, and an Audi P2, P4. That is Lamborghini in 5th now. And Fernand's going to be right behind him in P6. And behind him will be Matt getting P7, getting some points for E-Sprint.
I think Kaikara may, yes. Kaikara held off Mummy and gets P8.
And Mummy's going to take P9, and who's going to take the final one? It's going to be a P10. Critical won't be able to take it at this rate. Who's going to take it?
Epic Brother is coming towards Critical Noob. Epic Brother overtakes Critical Noob. I think they may be able to get points on their F1 debut with KR Racing. Look at this. This is going to be great for the Constructors. 2 cars in the points for the first time ever, maybe this season.
It could be. It could be. This might be it. It might not be that many points.
Japan was with Pachakura and Kaikara, but for only the 2nd time this season, Epic Brother rounds the final corner. They've moved to F1 to replace Pachakura this race. They just need to get to the line now. And this is double points for KR Racing. Epic Brother gets 1 point on their debut in F1 because of Critical Noob's fuel problem. They're running to the line. They've been overtaken by Greg, who's already finished the race.
Aviation Chad will get P11th, and right behind him will be finishing.
I
That
think
is gonna be a little fun race.
Professor Bloxer was waiting at the line because they didn't have enough fuel because they're running slowly as well. Critical Noob and Professor Bloxer are both running really slowly. I think they may be out of fuel. Well, Critical Noob is literally running. Professor Bloxer is at least still in their car.
Oh, that is it.
Oh, Critical Noob now coming around the last corner, running down towards the line. Will Professor Bloxer overtake the E-Spirit? One's on foot, one's in their car. Here comes the Pro Drive round the last corner. Who's going to get to the line in time? It's Critical Noob versus Professor Bloxer. Here comes Professor and they take 12th from the E-Spirit of Critical Noob because they're running to the line because they ran out of fuel on the very last lap of the race. So that is only Matt getting points for E-Spirit, but that will still help them in the fight to stay out of the bottom two in the constructors' standings.
So the real question is Critical Noob going to get R&D? Because he didn't crash the car, it just ran out of fuel.
We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, that's true. But in the crazy grand scheme of things, this is incredible. Decare and Landstroid getting P1 and P3, which means a double Brand Star podium. As we wait for them to get the cars fixed. Here we are. Oh. All right.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. That is Dakar in P1 with the fastest lap, your new championship leader. But they haven't won the championship yet. This is going to be a battle down to the line in Dubai, whether Dakar gets his 4th championship or whether Kaikara gets their first.
This is the best Landstroid has ever gotten on a time. This is the best position Landstroid's ever gotten. And we are about to start our podium shortly.
Here is your podium ceremony then, ladies and gentlemen. Coming out in 3rd place is Landstroid for Brandstar. And in 2nd place we have
Merc.
Where are they? They're not here. Dakar's already come out to be the winner. Here comes Merc. Merc in 2nd place. And Dakar in P1. He retakes the lead of the championship, but not by enough to win it. So make sure you stick around, you subscribe to the channel, because in 2 weeks' time it's going to be the duel in the desert in Dubai between Dakar and Kaikara for the championship. Is Dakar going to get his 4th? Is Kaikara going to get his 1st? We'll just have to wait and see how it turns out. You probably have an idea of how it will. I do. But never say never.
I mean, we're going to see him in a different team for the last race, so this was pretty great for a final 2nd race with Brandstar. There's no better way to get it all. But that will be the end. We saw some great battles today, I will say.
Just before we leave, let's give a thank to our YouTube members who support the media team. You can join them as well if you want at youtube.com/ironracing/join for just as little as $1 a month. It's about 79p in the UK. And we thank you for watching. Formula 2 is up next. We'll just have to wait and see if that race is anything as exciting as this one. So thank you for joining us today. Please stick around for next week. 2 weeks' time.
Yeah, 2 weeks.
2 weeks' time, because that's going to be a very, very dramatic race indeed. from me, from Cheyenne,
Anyways.
thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next time out for the last race of the season.
Goodbye, everybody.